Good evening, Nigel. I voted to leave, but now I've changed my mind, and I think the government should revoke Article 50. we stop it, and it goes back to the people.
You revoke Article... So don't bother to ask the people. Just cancel the whole thing. Pretend it never happened.
No, cancel the whole thing and then go back to the people, because we're more informed now. As to what's, the lies are and the deception. So, people have got to realise that people in Westminster, they're in a bubble, and this is having a profound effect on ordinary working people and people up and down the country, because we don't know what's happening. We don't know if food prices are going to go up, as they say.
Or down, Len.
Well, yeah. Okay,
or down. If we leave,
at the moment, we're being everything is going to be a catastrophe.
Len, if we leave on WTO terms, if we leave with a clean break, if we leave with no deal, choose your terminology, we could reduce food prices substantially by cutting tariffs on food that comes in from all over the world. Now, some of our farmers might scream, but we could do that. Len, are you suggesting? So you're suggesting we cancel the whole thing, but then have another referendum? Yeah.
Absolutely. Because, Nigel, I voted to come out, but I didn't vote to come out without a deal. I naturally assumed that the people within Westminster would have the intelligence to negotiate a satisfactory deal for us, but it's not happening. So
they didn't ask for a free trade deal. But Len, you didn't vote for a deal, did you?
Then why is the focus on deal or no deal then?
Because that's where we are right now. Len, the interesting thing about this is that if there was a second referendum, I think the result would be an even bigger vote to leave. What would happen then? Would Parliament then just ignore us again?
No, because at least we know we will be fully informed. We wasn't fully informed.
You will never be
the facts at the beginning, Nigel.
Len, you can never be fully informed, because one man's fact is another man's lie, and that is politics at every single election that has been fought since the dawn of time. What would your question be for the next referendum, Len?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Hopefully, if Article 50 was revoked, then it'd give us a good deal of time to think about it.
But
because at the moment it's just a state of flux in this country, and surely don't these MPs care how ordinary people, I won't say ordinary, people up and down the country feel that are not in the Westminster bubble?
Well, I think actually...
it's like a doomsday scenario that we're being fed every single day, and you're telling me that it's not true.
I'm telling you that the political class are doing their utmost to stop the greatest democratic exercise in the history of this nation, Len, and I'm absolutely furious about it. Len, you want Article 50 revoked? I don't agree, Len, but hey, you've made your point. Let's go to Henry in Fulham, a new caller. Hi, Henry.
Hello, Nigel. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine. Come on, put yourself, Henry, in Boris's shoes. What should you do?
But unfortunately, what he should do and what he's going to do are two different things. I don't think that he's got much of a choice other than to accept the deal on the table at the moment that Theresa May has negotiated. And I'll tell you why that is, because not only is he representing the people, he's also representing his party. And that's the other thing which nobody take into account for. He's got to try and rescue his party, and if he goes out, I want to go out without a deal. But if he does go out without a deal, he's going to upset probably a higher percentage of his party than if he accepted Theresa May.
Well, he's just sacked. He's just sacked 21 of them.
Yes, indeed so. But he can't sack 100 of them.
Well, actually, Henry, he can, and I'll tell you how. Because what he said is that if in the House of Lords, Conservative peers go against his wishes, he'll take the whip away from them. So we could see a very large number of Tory peers have the whip removed. I'm not saying it'll be 100, but it'll be a lot more than 21. All right. So, but Henry, here's the problem, right? If he now goes back to Brussels, he's now going to get nothing. Whatever they might have given him a few days ago, he's now going to get nothing. So if he brings back the withdrawal agreement to the House of Commons, he will not get it through.
The problem is with the situation is, and as I said, I'm on your side. I actually want a hard Brexit and just get rid of it. I think we'll be better off long term. Short term, I think we'll be in a bit of trouble, but long term, I think we'll be better off outside the EU. Having said all of that, he's in a very difficult position because the second vote will go through. They'll force him to go back to Brussels on the table. And if he calls an election, I think he's going to be in quite a lot of trouble. I think that he'll lose. I think that the Conservative Party are in danger of losing more of their MPs to your party than Labour are. And that's where it brings back to my point. He is looking after his party just as much as he's looking after the country.
Well, Henry, it seems to me, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to me that if a general election was held, and it will be at some point before the end of the year, and if on the one side Boris was saying we're leaving with a clean break Brexit, and on the other side was the Labour Party saying we're going to have a second referendum, and whatever parties are with Boris or with Labour, we effectively have a Brexit referendum in every sense, I think Boris will win a majority, don't you?
Do you know what? I wish I could agree with you. I'd like to think so, but I personally think that the mood of the country is, do you know what? This whole thing has been a total and utter pain in the backside, and all I want to do is just get on with my life. And I suspect you'd probably find that there'd be more people that think, do you know what? I can't be bothered with it. Let's just stay in. And I think there's more people like that than you possibly imagine. I mean, I speak to a lot of people, intelligent people, a lot of more walks of life, and everybody is bored with it. And I think you'll find if there was another referendum, a lot of people think, do you know what, just stay in because I can't be bothered with it. Well, and I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is, Brexit fatigue can go one or two ways. People either say, the hell with it, let's just stay, or the hell with it, let's just leave. And it's very, very tough to read. Henry, great call. Thank you. Now on YouTube, we've got a huge number of people watching us on YouTube. And Anglo's one of them saying, do you really think Boris can get no deal back on the table with a majority in the Commons? Nope. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no way the House of Commons want us to be independent of the institutions of the European Union. They just don't. They don't think we're big enough or strong enough to survive on our own. That's their point of view. It's not mine. The only way that you get a clean break Brexit is to win a general election with a majority. And it is, folks, from a Leaver's perspective, it is, I think, the only way out of this. Because if in the unlikely event that he did get the withdrawal agreement, that new European treaty, if he did get that passed, that wouldn't help the Conservative Party, because 18 months down the road, they'd be more bitterly divided than they even are today, when people realised the full consequences of just how bad that is. Paul on Facebook says, what deal do the Remain MPs want as they refuse the only deal on the table? Paul, they want a second referendum and they want us to remain. It's as simple as that. They have never respected the vote in 2016, and that's why the country's in the mess that it's in. We've had no loser's consent, without which civilised democracy cannot function and cannot work. You're listening to the Nigel Farage Show here on LBC. It's 6:45 and time for the news headlines with Lisa Aziz.
A bill designed to stop the UK leaving the EU without a deal at the end of October has cleared its first hurdle in the Commons. It faces another vote shortly. Labour's dismissed the Chancellor's spending review as grubby electioneering after he promised extra funding for delivering Brexit and widespread public services. Pilots at Ryanair have announced a fresh round of strikes later this month in a dispute over pay and benefits. LBC weather, winds easing and skies clearing with some scattered showers overnight for North Wales, the far north and Scotland, a low of 10 degrees.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne Webb. Long delays continue on the M25 clockwise between junctions 27 at the M11 and 29 at the A127. That's because a car broke down early. But before you get to that queue, there are delays clockwise from 24 at Potters Bar to 25 at the A10 because a lorry has broken down and there's still one lane closed on that stretch. Still no Woolwich Ferry running because of the ongoing technical problems and delays in Mile End on the A11 southbound following an accident. On the Underground, the Bakerloo line is running now between Elephant and Castle and Queen's Park with severe delays, and there are still severe delays on the Metropolitan line.
Coming up at 7 on LBC, Ian Dale.
Votes, amendments, shenanigans, rebellions, yet another night of parliamentary intrigue coming up with not only me, but Theo Usherwood too. We spoil you, don't we?
Ian Dale on LBC.
Here's the thing with some broadband ads. They promise a great price, but then come the rapid-fire terms and conditions, where they talk really quickly, whizzing past the bits that say broadband prices might go up during contract. Might, chances are they will, so the price you signed up for goes up and up and up. At TalkTalk, we don't sneak surprises into our small print. We give you our faster fibre at a price that starts low and stays low. Just £23.50 a month for all 18 months of your contract. Search TalkTalk Fibre. Surprise-free T's and C's apply. Offer ends 26th of September. TalkTalk for everyone.
Bangers and mash. Showers and power ballads. Tea and toast. Some things just belong together. And if you own a small business, your double act is work you and life you. So at Starling Bank, we mix pleasure with business too. Manage your banking from one beautifully simple app with no monthly fees, instant